think if you're going for Ronaldo and there's confirmation that he's going to start this game week, I think 100% he probably is going to be the best captain option to go for. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Man Talks FPL SC. In today's video, we're going through a Game Week 4 guide for the Fantasy Premier League 2021-22 season. This is going to be a new series that I'm going to be doing on the channel where I'm going through a little bit more of statistics, a bit of a Game Week preview as well. So hopefully you guys do enjoy it and find it informative. So if you do, would really appreciate a thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing to the channel as well if you haven't seen my content yet and if you do enjoy what I put out. But let's get into the Game Week 4 guide. So I thought it'd be good from now on to keep a bit of a watch list together, and I think a good way of trying to do that is maybe using statistics to kind of guide our thought process in terms of seeing which players could perform well in the near term and to maybe see if there are any particular players who are overperforming their statistics. Now I think in general statistics are really useful because say someone like myself, I'm not able to watch all the games being in the Australian time zone and all the UK games are happening overnight. So going back and looking at the statistics really does help me in terms of getting a better picture of which players were in the right areas, which ones were creating the chances, and which ones are, almost close to getting the goals and were expected to get the goals as well. Now I've taken all of these statistics from Fantasy Football Hub. I'm really thankful now that I am an affiliate with Fantasy Football Hub. So if you guys are interested in getting into a bit more statistics and all of their tools as well, there is a code in the description below where you do get a discount as well. So if you are interested at diving a little bit more into the stat side of things as well, I really would recommend it because I definitely do think it does help me a lot. And I definitely used these statistics a lot last season as well, which helped me really get a strong ranking of 634 overall. So definitely do check them out if you want to. So the way that I've sorted this table here is doing it by expected points and then seeing their statistics as well. To be honest, it's no surprise that Antonio is sitting on top there. He was expected to get 30.2 points in the first 3 game weeks and he smashed that, getting 40 points as well with a difference of almost 10 points there. That definitely does highlight that he's, overperforming statistics, but a lot of that is just due to the form that he's in. He's obviously finishing like lower quality chances and he's actually also created 3 big chances as well. So he's not just getting his points from expected goals, he is also expected to be generating assists for his teammates as well. You can see he's had 27 touches in the box, 13 shots in the box as well, so he's hanging around that penalty box, which is great for our strikers. So definitely looking like one of the best options to go for in your forward line if you haven't got him already. I also want to highlight Mo Salah here with a difference of 8.4 points on his expected points. Also I will highlight that these expected points also do account for expected bonus points as well. So he's had 33 touches in the box, which is showing that he's getting in the box a lot, and he's taken 10 shots in the box as well, which ranks really high in this table here. Only Calvert-Lewin and Antonio have ranked above him in this regard. He's also created 2 big chances, so he is also able to get assists. We saw that in game week 1, so definitely it's still looking like a really solid premium, and with 3 great fixtures to come in the next few weeks, I definitely think Salah is worth holding on to. If you're potentially looking to play a wildcard, I would not be considering to get rid of Mo Salah. Cancelo is someone I've highlighted here because I think if you are looking to wildcard this game week, I think getting on Manchester City defenders is a really good idea because their defense is so strong and Cancelo has always shown this attacking potential. You can see there, he's definitely underperforming. 14 points he scored when he was expected to actually get 21.1. That's a big difference there. You can see he has created 1 big chance as well. He also is hanging around the box. He's had 13 touches in the box, which for a defender is quite a large amount. And so he's someone I think you should definitely consider as well if you are looking to go for a City defender on a wild card. He could potentially be a bit of a rotation risk, but to be honest, I think that rotation, factor is a bit overplayed with Cancelo, especially with Mendy and his situation now. Cancelo has got that flexibility of playing on the left and on the right, so I definitely do like him as a pick. And we may as well bring up Diaz and also Laporte. They're all featuring in this table here, and them being on this table is largely due to their expected clean sheets because they're such a solid defense. Even with their relatively tough fixtures to begin the season, they still are a super strong defense and definitely a team I think worthwhile considering on your wildcard and moving forward as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I wanted to highlight here, he's got 22 points when he was expected to get 18.6, which is a little bit of an overperformance, but he has created 3 big chances, which for a defender, again, is a really large amount. So definitely is someone I also personally would not be dropping on a wild card. I know you can create a lot of funds dropping him to like a 5 or a 5.5 defender, if you want to potentially go for a 3 premium wild card, but personally with those attacking statistics, he also has 10 touches in the box, creating 3 big chances. I think he's one of the best defenders to go for, and I definitely would consider as well keeping him in your wildcard drafts. Now, two players I kind of want to talk about in conjunction here as well is Ben Rama and actually Pablo Fornals of West Ham. You can see Ben Rama has definitely overperformed his statistics a lot in the first 3 game weeks. He was expected to only get 17.4 and he's actually scored 26. So that's a big difference of 8.6. And if you compare that with like a Pablo Fornals, who's a little bit cheaper and is also his teammate at West Ham, if you actually look at their statistics, they're very, very similar in terms of their touches in the box. Fornals actually beats him on the stat side of things. You can see he's got 14 touches in the box compared to Ben Rama's 11. He's had 4 shots in the box compared to Ben Rama's 4, so very, very similar there. And then he also has created 2 big chances compared to Ben Rama's 1. So if you are looking at potentially, maybe you have to save like 0.2 or 0.3 on your wildcard or in your team. Yes, I wouldn't, trading out Ben Rama could be a big risk because he has shown great form to begin the season. But if you're looking for a cheeky kind of differential, you could save 0.2, 0.3 mil and drop down to a Fornals, his teammate, who is obviously going to benefit from the same fixtures moving forward, but still also could present good value at his price point. Now, Traore, again, is someone who's been talked to a lot in the community as a big underperformer. You can see here, out of these top 20 players he is the biggest underperformer on his expected stats. He's expected to score 17.4, the same expected points as Ben Rama, very, very close to Torres, and he's only scored 6 points. That's massive underperformance. He's got 27 touches in the box, so he is hanging around the penalty area, which is a good sign if you are looking to invest in him, because Wolves do have a great run of fixtures coming up. So I definitely think Traore is worthwhile considering purely based on his numbers. His numbers are amazing. You could argue a lot of that is just down to the player and their inability to finish. I think if you're potentially banking on him being able to, go back to that mean and hopefully get a few more attacking returns, I think Traore could be worthwhile considering. And Jota, I have also highlighted here because there is potential for him to be starting the next few weeks with Firmino's injury. We still haven't got any news of how long that injury is going to be for, but I still think that Jota, with those next 3 games, so strong for Liverpool, plus Watford, I think in a couple of weeks after their game against Crystal Palace. He always poses great stats, and you can see there 17 points when he was coming off the bench in one of those games as well is a really, really good sign for Jota owners. And for anyone who is on a wildcard, I think Jota would 100% be in my wildcard draft as well. So I think to sum up, in terms of a watch list, I think Traore is a big one because of that big underperformance. Pablo Fornals, we'll see what West Ham do as they soon get into Europe, and there should be some rotation there we'd expect. But Pablo Fornals is definitely someone to keep an eye on as well. Very similar price point to Traore. And I think just keeping an eye on the City defenders, because you've got Cancelo, Diaz and Laporte all on the top 20 in terms of expected points. So I think, if you're looking to set and forget in your defense, I normally don't like to use too many transfers in my defender. So I think if you can get these guys in, they're a set and forget for the rest of the season, and that they're going to deliver the points because they're a very strong defense, good clean sheet potential, and also potentially some attacking returns from Cancelo or also Diaz from set pieces as well. So the next part of the game week guide was going through the captaincy and who I think are the best captain options for the game week. In my personal opinion, the best 3 to go for is Mo Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo and Romelu Lukaku. Just saying those 3 names is really exciting. We finally got a lot of premiums in FPL. It's super, super exciting. Starting off with Mo Salah, I probably would rank him number 2 in my captaincy picks for this game week, coming up against Leeds, who ranks 16th for expected goals conceded of 1.9 a game. So you can almost expect them to be conceding 2 goals per game, based on stats in the first 3 game weeks. And then Salah has got expected goal involvement of 1.05 per 90 minutes. So you could expect, if Leeds are to concede 2 goals, there's a good chance that Salah is going to give you at least 1 return. And he is predicted to score 6.9 points as per Fantasy Football Hub's prediction tool. So again, he looks like a great captaincy option. If you're not going for Ronaldo this week, I think he is definitely the best option to go for. But moving on to the main man of the game week, Cristiano Ronaldo, coming up against Newcastle, who have ranked worst in expected goals conceded, 2.6 per 90. That's an extraordinary number. No expected goal involvement stats for Ronaldo obviously so far this season, but he is predicted to score the highest in game week 4 according to Fantasy Football Hub, 8.1 points. So I think if you're going for Ronaldo and there's confirmation that he's going to start this game week, I think 100% he probably is going to be the best captain option to go for, because the bookies are also heavily favouring Manchester United to put more than 2.5 goals past Newcastle, and I think the stats also back that up. Lukaku, a bit of an interesting one because he has actually gone off to get a scan on his thigh. He's now got a yellow flag on FPL, so we'll have to definitely wait on press conference news. It seemed like a minor issue, and if you have got Lukaku instead of Ronaldo, he could be a great differential captaincy shout this game week. Aston Villa's defense stats are actually okay. 1.1 expected goals conceded. That ranks 6th in the competition, but you have to also factor in they have played 3 of the easiest matchups so far this season in like Watford, Brentford and Newcastle. So to be honest, those stats you would hopefully would be higher. Obviously there's not going to be any Emi Martinez this week as he's facing some issues over in Brazil. He's not going to be playing in game week 4 as it is. Lukaku surprisingly was ranked very low on the predicted points. I'm not sure how the algorithm is actually treating that, but I think Lukaku is going to be a great option for Chelsea if you're looking for a bit of a differential captaincy shout this week, but I probably would rank Ronaldo and Salah ahead of him for sure this game week. 3 other alternative options I really like in the captaincy is Antonio, Kane and Son. Antonio, as we saw in the expected points, he's been absolutely bossing his stats and has been on fire to begin the season. You can see Southampton's defense also has not been very good. 1.8 expected goals conceded per 90. That ranks them 14th in the Premier League. And you can see Antonio's stats there. Expected goal involvement per 90 of 1.78. So to begin the season, he's been expected to get 2 goal involvements per game, which is amazing. Predicted to get 5.3 points. So I think if you're looking at it purely from a stats point of view, you probably would have to say Antonio is one of the best captain options for this game week. I think if his price was around 10.5, 12 million, he probably would be considered more heavily. But I think the hype is around Ronaldo. I think Mo Salah, both of them I would expect to be on penalties. Antonio obviously took a penalty against Newcastle, which he missed, so he might not be on penalties, so that could be something to consider as well, because penalties just give you a bit of a safety net in terms of, we saw, Mo Salah against Chelsea, he just needed 1 penalty, and that was able to get him a return. So for your captaincy, it's a good thing to fall back on. So that's probably the only downside I'd say to Antonio, but his stats are amazing. The opposition is really, really good, and so again, if you're looking for a differential, Antonio could be the way to go as well. Now onto the Spurs, guys. We've got Kane and Son against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace's defense hasn't been too bad actually to begin the season. 1.2 expected goals conceded. That's around middle of the table in the Premier League. Now the expected goal involvement per 90 for the pair of these hasn't been super high compared to the rest of the options we've considered already. 0.8 for Kane and 0.38 for Son. I will note for Son though, he definitely does always tend to overperform his stats. So that 0.38, he's able to score a goal from an XG of like 0.10. He's that good of a finisher. Fantasy Football Hub prediction tool does predict good points for them actually this game week of 6.7 and 6.4 for Kane and Son. Although personally, I think there's some indecisiveness in terms of assessing Spurs' attacking system so far under the new manager. Didn't create too many chances against Watford. And so I think if you're looking to stick the captaincy on one of these two guys, I think obviously it's a good differential. We saw how good the pair of these guys were in 2020. But personally, I think the other 4 we've mentioned are probably all stronger captaincy picks in my opinion. So for the rest of the video, what I'm going to do is just kind of go through some bookies odds in terms of clean sheets and goal scorers, and also potential assisters as well, just in terms of helping you guys out with your potential team selections if you have got any dilemmas in terms of benching headaches. So you can see here that Chelsea are heavily backed to be getting a clean sheet against Aston Villa. So again, a big reason why I also do like getting a Chelsea defender on your wildcard. Yes, they've got Tottenham and then Man City after that, but their defense is so strong. I think they're the second best defense after Man City on these stats point of view so far this season. And I think if you are wildcarding in game week 4, you want to be setting up your team for the long term. So I think getting a Chelsea defender is going to be a really, really smart move in my opinion. And obviously this week you can heavily back them, I think, for a clean sheet. Manchester United, Arsenal and Man City are also pretty well favoured to get clean sheets. I mean, Arsenal, that's probably more based on the opposition of Norwich. To be honest, the way their defences looked, I'm not 100% sure if I'd be backing a clean sheet for Arsenal, but obviously that's a good sign in terms of the bookies. But Man City and Man United, again, if you've got any of the defenders like Cancelo, Diaz, Luke Shaw from Manchester United, I think obviously are all going to be great plays in this game week. And on the opposite side of the coin, you can see that Newcastle have the worst odds in terms of getting a clean sheet. So again, if you've got your Manchester United players, you're looking to really hold on to them this week and capitalize, maybe a captaincy on Cristiano Ronaldo. Even if you can't get to Ronaldo, even holding a Bruno Fernandes is still an okay move this week because he is facing Newcastle. I fully would expect him to still get some attacking returns. Even with Cristiano Ronaldo, he can easily get an assist, so I think very good team to favour, as well as Aston Villa. You can see there the second worst odds of getting a clean sheet. So any Lukaku owners out there, again, that shows that he is a good captaincy option for this game week. So next up, we're looking at the goal scorers, and again, Ronaldo tops the odds to get a goal in this game week with a 60% chance of being an anytime goal scorer. So again, if you're looking to get in Ronaldo, he again looks a fantastic captaincy option coming up against statistically the worst defense in the league. And so I think it's all set up for Ronaldo captaincy. Obviously, Fernandes still ranks pretty high there, as you can see with also other Manchester United players like Cavani. And that's one thing to also note with the odds, is doesn't take into account the players who are more likely to start, but it gives a good indication of the teams that they're thinking are going to be scoring the most goals. So again, we see Lukaku, we see Mo Salah up there, we see Greenwood, all players I think you would expect to be goal scoring this week. And so again, a useful decision as well if you're looking to potentially, maybe jump on one of these players for this game week. You can see that Arsenal players do feature here, obviously like Lacazette and Aubameyang, but if you have got any Arsenal attacking assets, like an Emile Smith-Rowe, guilty I am of that, so I will be playing him this week because the bookies do think that Arsenal will have a good chance of scoring against Norwich, and so I would be hopeful for some attacking returns there. Finally, we also will take a look at the assist odds. I think it's still useful to see what kind of players would potentially chip in with some attacking returns here. Mason Mount unsurprisingly tops the anytime assist odds because he's such a good chance creator. And a weak opposition in Aston Villa, I think definitely looks like he could get 1 or 2 assists, and he's got a great target man in Romelu Lukaku to feed those through balls in to create those chances. And so Mason Mount, I'm not surprised to see here, is the top anytime assister. You can see Pogba ranks pretty highly there. We saw him get 4 assists already in game week 1, so again, no surprises there. Fernandes does also feature there. You can see 29% chance of an assist. Given the fact that he was also second on the goal scoring odds, if you can't get to Ronaldo, it's obviously not ideal this game week. But is it the worst thing in the world to be holding on to Bruno Fernandes, who just a few weeks back scored a hat-trick? I don't think it's such a bad thing. The bookies still think that he's going to get some attacking returns, so definitely factor that in your thinking. If you're thinking about taking maybe like a -4 or a -8 to shift Bruno to Ronaldo, just rethink it and think Bruno has got very good chances of still getting some attacking returns this game week, so just think about that when you're going through your team selection and also your wildcard drafts potentially. So that's it guys, that is the Game Week 4 guide. Again, really appreciate a thumbs up on the video. If you did enjoy it, please let me know in the comments below if you did enjoy this type of video. I really would appreciate your feedback and see if we can make this a regular thing on the channel. So let me know in the comments below if you thought the videos was useful, maybe other stats that you might want to see moving forward as well. Just leave all of that in the comments below. I read all of them and I try to respond to all of them as I can. That's all from me, and I'll see you all in the next video.